Welcome to another episode of The Classical Republican. I'm going to be reading a speech by Lorenzo de' Medici from the Montefeltro. It's found in the Montefeltro Conspiracy by Marcello Simonetta. I believe he is the first person to translate this into English, and I am reading it because I want to be able to show you that the Medici, who were oligarchs and really controlled a lot of what was going on in Florence. They had power and they dominated, but they were able to hide behind a facade of republicanism. And so this speech kind of shows how he did that through rhetoric. On this public occasion, and this is after the murder of his brother by the Pazzi in the Duomo in Florence. On this public occasion, sworn fathers, if I were not struck by a private mourning in my soul and body, perhaps I would talk at more length, deploring it along with you, acting like an eloquent orator and taking on the role of the good citizen. However, the indignity and impiety of the case burdens and hampers me. Words fail me, and my teeth impede the movements of my tongue. It is customary for mortal men, when they experience something bad or evil, to seek refuge with their relatives, friends, and in extreme need with priests and holy bishops who, if unable to provide help, can at least alleviate pain and ease sadness with their words. As the philosopher says, we are born not only for ourselves, but also for our fatherland. I believe that's Cicero. For our countrymen, and even more for our neighbors, in order to assist them and favor them as much as we can. For the same reason, matrimonies, pacts, and agreements are made in every business, whether civil or military, especially at a time so full of troubles and calamities. Dearest brother, whose wounds are still under my eyes, how should I talk about your undeserved death? Perhaps I should look for priests or churchmen who were not only present at this horror, but even participated in it. In pagan Rome, divine temples used to be refuges for safety, whereas in the greatest Christian temple consecrated to God, my brother was killed and I was hit, pulling through by a hair from the hands of impious killers. Lately, I have been reconsidering my situation, and I think my brother's fate is preferable to mine. I have preserved my life, which turns out to be damaging for you and for the city. Sworn fathers, you are my friends. I owe you everything. All citizens must place the common before the private good. But I, more than anyone else, as the one who has received from you and the fatherland more and greater benefits. Therefore, use my wealth as you please. I am ready to go into exile or to die. I am ready to go off to the farthest islands on earth, to migrate from this life altogether. You have fed me and raised me, and you can take everything from me. If you find it is of use to the Republic, kill me with your own hands. Since I am in your hands anyway, as are my children and my wife, if you want, let them have the same fate as mine, the most honest death. It will be to the eternal decency and praise of yours that you have submitted us to exile or death for the good and safety of the people and city. For the state and the city and the people, there would be no better divine and more tolerable goodness than to let us die at your hands, the hands of my parents, my citizens and friends. But my brother was innocent, and nonetheless he was killed in the spring of his life. If they attacked him in our great and famous church during the celebration of divine rites, can you trust the Pope's most secular promises? So decide of me and my children what you think is best for the welfare of the Republic, and whatever your decision, I will consider it the best and safest. Okay, so you see how he he's trying to really do what he's really trying to save his own hide. He brought this terrible conspiracy on himself, but the people supported him because he seemed like a better person to have so much power rather than the Patsy family. They were, I don't think the people really thought that they would be, that it would be good for them to have power like the Medici had. So they didn't mind the Medici. Well, maybe didn't mind. I mean, in 1494, they definitely didn't mind. They kicked him out. But they seem to support the Medici over the Pazzi in this particular situation. So until next time, long live the Republic.